Okay, we're back today again with another video on a Sub-Zero Model 550 SS. Let me go over it. This is the Model 550 SS, same as the Model 550, except this particular unit has the stainless steel grill and the stainless steel handles. It's kind of a precursor to the 600 series or the 650, which is this machine right here. Pretty similar, but there's a big difference. First of all, these are your thermostats, okay? Number 5 and number 5 are normal. I have this particular one on number 3 because I'm doing a test, but number 5 are normal, freezer, refrigerator. To turn the refrigerator off, it goes up to 10. That's the highest setting. And then all the way down to off, right there. Off means off. So 1 is the warmest, 2, 3, 4, each number represents 2 degrees. On number 5, it's designed to be around 38 degrees, so you can do the math, and you can go up to 10 if you want. So we'll leave it at 5, and that's it. Lights, light switch, this is your fan switch. This fan comes on whenever the refrigerator compressor is on. If it's not on, it means it's on an off cycle. Doesn't mean it's not working. You have 4 light bulbs in here. If you need to change them and remove this diffuser, we have a video on that. Shelves, to adjust the shelves, you just lift up and you pull them out, and you see they have those little tabs or clips on the end there, and then you put them in the slots you want, pick it up, let it drop down, and voila. Dairy drawer here. We have a video on doing that, cleaning that up and taking that apart. Of course, your crisper drawers. These are your adjustments for humidity control right here. What this does is when you open and close that, it opens and closes those slots so you get more air circulation. That's what that's for. All right, shelves are adjustable. You just pick them up, pull them out. You see these slots on the side, these grooves, they fit into those, and then you can adjust them up and down wherever you want them. Okay, dairy. This is a dairy drawer or a dairy compartment. These seals sometimes get really dirty and funky. You can order these and replace them. We have a video on that. These are your egg holders. These are no longer being supplied by Sub-Zero because some kind of a health issue with them. Salmonella, so probably better off leaving them in their own case. All right, so that's the refrigerator section. Now, the freezer, this particular freezer is running at 10 degrees. It should have been colder because that's why it's on number 3. It should be on number 5. This is your ice tray, your ice bin, your ice bucket. It goes in right here. If you want to shut the ice maker down on a 550 or a 511, take out the tray, put it over there, and the ice maker will not come on. There's a water line that gets connected to your water valve, which is right here. See that gets connected right into there. Use copper tubing if you have to hook it up, because plastic tubing is outlawed, or not necessarily outlawed, but it's not recommended because mice can eat through it and flood your house. This is your drain pan. Drain pan says right there, do not block. So the drain pan goes in this way and it sits above a bracket in the back, and then to lock it in place you just pick it up like that. Okay, so now you can see the top of the pan. And there's a kick plate that goes on here that's not on here. That kick plate is right here, and it just screws on with 2 screws. The right way to put the kick plate, those holes for the screws are up on the top. And that's how the kick plate goes on, and the 2 screws, there's one there and there's one down there. All right, so that's the freezer and the refrigerator, and I'm going to show you now how to take the top off and clean it. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention, on the door you have two door cams down here, these nylon door cams. One is attached to the hinge on the bottom, and the other one is attached to the door. So when you open the door, you see those grooves? It picks the door up, and then it has a resting spot at about 115, maybe 120 degrees. The door will drop down and basically stay stable there, so you can do what you have to do inside. And then when you start to close it, from 6 inches, the door should close by itself from 6 inches. Like that. Not from an open position. You have to give it a little bit of a push. But from 6 inches away, if the door was open 6 inches, that's about 6 inches. See? And it's the weight of the door and the mechanical aspect of these two cams, the way they work together, that keeps that door shut. To replace these door cams, you have to take the door off. We have a video on that, on how to take the door off. There's one little screw that holds this one in, and there's another single screw that holds this one. And that's all there is to that. Okay, the first thing you want to do to take the grill off the top. And by the way, this is your model number, and your serial number and nameplate tag will be on the right side, the hinge side of the upper of the frame of the refrigerator. Okay, so if this was a left hinge door, that label would be over here. And so now, this particular grill has 3 screws in it. Some of the other grills, the aluminum grills, the louvered grills, only have 1 in the center. So you just take these out. And this one, you got the 3. So I just heard it kick on. It's really quiet for a refrigerator that's 27 years old. It's pretty good shape. Well, we just restored it, and we have a video on that. Let's put this back on number 5 and see if we get that down to 0. All right. Now, there's a spring, maybe 2 springs, holding this grill back so it doesn't fall on you. Some people forget to put the spring on there. This thing could fall and chop your toe off. Just pick it up, lift it up a little bit, and here you see the spring. It's on this little triangular bracket there. Be careful. Wear heavy gloves, because there's like a fish hook there, and that could get caught, and you could get a serious cut. That's how you take the grill off. As we want to take off this cover, you don't have to if you're not experienced dealing with this kind of equipment. There's electrical wiring behind here and refrigeration lines, and you don't want to stick your fingers someplace where you're going to get jolted. So be careful. Take off the 2 screws that hold this cover on. Now there's a package on here, an envelope. It's over there on my bench. It has the wiring diagram and the pictorial diagrams, in case you're interested in that. You pull this cover off. Now all this here, this is insulation. It's not a filter. It's just there to deaden the sound. You put that there. You have a defrost timer on here. That goes bad sometimes. We have a video on that. We have the condenser fan motor here, which sometimes goes bad. We have a video on how to replace that. This is your refrigerator compressor on the right side, and this is the freezer compressor, and the rest of this, whatever's in here, you don't really need to know, because unless you're a technician, you won't really need to get into here. Okay? So this is the condenser. And the condenser circulates air from outside through this coil, comes out on this side where the condenser fan motor is, and blows the air out on the left side of the refrigerator when you're facing it. Helps cool the compressors down. If this motor goes bad, it will get really hot up here. There's automatic shutoffs on the compressors, some overload to protect it from getting too hot. To clean the condenser, you could take a brush and go up and down. Go down like this, get the bristles inside to get the dust out, or you can use a vacuum cleaner, but make sure you use with the brush attachment and go up and down. Do not go sideways, because you'll bend the fins. Okay, so another thing is, if you have a stainless steel unit, I use WD-40 to clean it and shine it up, and I use a microcloth. Do not use dry paper towels or anything that's hard, because it'll scratch the stainless steel. Now you can look at this side of the refrigerator door. It looks a lot nicer than this side, is because I wiped this with WD-40. Spray it on. Look at how nice that looks now. And you do the whole, you can do the handles. It just makes it look so much nicer. Now if you have a scratch on here, do not use anything on stainless steel except a microcloth. You can see there's a little mark right there. I mean, you have to be careful with this. Some people, when they get a stain on their door, they wind up using a Brillo pad or some stainless steel pad, and they scratch it. And you cannot go horizontally with anything but a microcloth. Otherwise, it's just going to ruin it. And now we have a video on how you can straighten out that, or at least maybe correct some really bad scratches. But it never comes out 100% perfect. It's a little better. Because once stainless steel gets scratched, it's hard to unscratch it, polish it. You can't polish it because then it won't look right. So, by the way, this is commercial grade stainless steel. It's called 304 polished, and it has a vertical grain. If you look at it closely, you'll see the grain goes vertically. That's why you should not be wiping it horizontally with anything but a microcloth, because it's going to just make it look terrible, and it will show up. So, it's very simple. There are other stainless steel cleaners out on the market that work just as well, but I like the WD-40 look. It just makes it look really lustrous. And you can put this on whenever you get a lot of fingerprints on there and you want it to look nice. And look at that. Look how beautiful that looked. Beautiful. Okay. All right. That's about it. I've showed you just about everything about the model, how to use it, how to clean it, how everything works. And you have any serious problems that are in the sealed system or something, it's always better off leaving that to an expert, because there's just a lot of special equipment that you need to fix the sealed system, and there's even some laws that prevent you from draining out the freon. So that I would leave that to an expert. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. By the way, I have a complete video on how we restored this refrigerator from soup to nuts. See you on the next one.